Patch notes. Let's get right into it. There's lots to cover, so this will be split up into different parts. It'll be one video, but it's gonna be chaptered, so you can choose which area you wanna watch. Anyway, get into it. So this is multiplayer, and we got the new maps, Grease and Meat, and training facility. I thought this was gonna be in season, but this is at launch, and then Doritos in season. Got the EMP and Swarm kill streaks. New Assassin Vest perk, which is basically the it's the new Ghost. It's more for the Sentinels. It's Ghost, but it works 24/7, like including while stationary. Even if you don't move, it still works. Just another Infinity War thing for you. The new modes, all or nothing or gunfight, are back as well. All or nothing, you start with throwing knives and a pistol, and you earn perks by eliminating others and staying alive. And you get ammo from the scav bags. And the gunfight, as you already know. The new weapons. So we got the Ram, got the XRK Stalker, got the Storm Ender. Multiplayer. New features and quality of life. There is player health and stamina are now represented by dynamic bars on the HUD. Basically, there's a stamina bar now that represents your stamina and health. I think is pretty cool. It would give more. It gives more clarity to the whole sliding thing, so that people can fully understand why it's taking so long to sprint again after they like slide, and they can finally realize that slide cancel doesn't reset your attack sprint, and that sprinting itself does. Because I know a lot of people are still upset about the movement, but it's like slide cancel doesn't do that anymore. Get over it. They've added more details to the gunsmith, so I think that's pretty cool. Like added upper leg damage and empty reload, and increased decimal precision of the flinch resistance stat. These are all the bug fixes. You can pause and read that if you like. Movement. So this is where they've kind of nerfed snaking a little bit. They've added a delay following multiple rapid stance transitions to prevent exploitable repetition. The crash to stand is 150 milliseconds, and prone to stand is 600 milliseconds. We've introduced a delay to stance transitions to combat a movement exploit commonly referred to by players as snaking, and they're monitored and whatever. They've also improved spawns as well. Improved spawn protection against equipment and kill streaks. And they've done it for hardpoint too. Several adjustments have been made to improve the flow of combat and increase control of team owned areas. So I really like that they're addressing spawns, because spawns have been funky from what I've seen, especially in the competitive setting. So this will be really good for when rank comes out, so we don't have to deal with that bullshit. So I'm really glad that they're working on that. Weapons. They've decreased hip fire spread penalty incurred while firing moving for SMGs. Okay, now for the ARs. The MTZ got a buff all around. The BASB Battle Rifle got a buff. The Sidewinder got a buff for ADS. The SMGs. The Striker got a buff. WSP Swarm got a buff as well. The Striker 9 got a buff as well. Melee's Riot Shield. So they nerfed Riot Shields in Warzone, but for multiplayer it's different. Oh no, it's actually the same. They added a 10% movement speed penalty while stowed, so if you're using a riot shield, you move a lot. You move slower. They've also increased damage from 50 to 75. Meh. I mean, health is 150, so it's not that big of a deal. And these are the attachments that I got touched, so if you want to read that, go ahead. Oh, okay, so these are MW2 weapons, okay. So for the ARs, the M4 got a buff, and then it got a nerf. The battle rifles for TAC V got a buff. SMGs, Baznev got a buff. The thing's been meta for like the whole year. ISO got a buff. Shotguns, Rosley got a buff, and then they got a nerf. The RAL got a buff all around. The Enquiries got a buff and a nerf. Marksman's, the SPL got a buff all around. Handgun, the Bastil's got a buff all around. They've also increased the animation rate on Priceless and Interstellar, which is pretty cool. These are all the changes they made to the maps. You can read that if you like. For S&D, they've increased XP earned for events. So you get 500 for a kill, 200 for an assist, 400 for a shield assist, 1k for a headshot, 1k for a plant, 1k for a defuse, plus an extra 250 for last alive, 450 for ninja defuse, and another 250 XP for last alive. Joining an in-progress war match during the ending cinematic is no longer possible. For every system, mosquito drone will no longer be targeted. Alright, zombies. Story Act and Mission, Act 4 and a new story mission are immediately available at the start. Massive gateways appeared, investigate the area and engage in new endgame content. Dark Ether Rifts. Dark Ether Rifts bring rewards to those who brave the challenges. These otherworldly labyrinths are located inside the Dark Ether, where players and their squads have a limited time to complete a series of increasingly chaotic objectives to earn exceptional rewards. Find sigils to enter the Dark Ether Rifts and face a new level of challenge. Dark Ether Rifts are unlocked by solving a hidden quest, which activates after completing the Season 1 story mission. The VR11 Wonder Weapon. Shoot zombies and transform them into humans, or blast humans to mutate them into friendly zombies. Players receive a buff when shots. The VR11 has been added to the mystery box. The VR11 weapon case is now available by loot, acquisitions, Dogbone. For those who keep up with my news TikTok, you would have known that I already covered this. So for Dogbone, if you consume it, you can summon the strongest friendly Hellhound companion. It will follow you and attack nearby threats until its health runs out. Golden armor plate. When you consume it, it replaces your armor carry with a place that automatically repair over time. And then it also provides you additional damage resistances. Eat the blade, a special throwing knife with infinite ammo and a boomerang-like combat style. After striking an enemy, it will locate the next nearest enemy to hit before returning to its operator. For those who were having issues applying camos on the DG58 for zombies, it's now been fixed apparently. So there you go. Alright, so they've nerfed some contracts in the gameplay area. So for Outlast, enemies no longer spawn if players are not progressing in the contract. And then for Raid Weapon Stash, enemies no longer spawn if players are not progressing in the contract. But with this, I found that even if you're outside, it still progresses. So unless you like go fully out of the area. Then Sport Control, they've adjusted them to prevent them from spawning on a player, resulting in instant death. So I'm curious to see how this is going to play out with these nerfs. I'm assuming it won't be that big of a deal, but it's a bit annoying to those who just want to farm and like get the camo zone real quick. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I guess we'll find out when we play it or see what the feedback's like. These are all the acquisition bug addresses, whatever. You can read that if you like. They made some changes to exfil. At launch, more formidable enemies have been added to the exfil experience in all zones. Then in season, all exfils will increase the number of enemies spawned, with the final exfil receiving a significant boost to enemy count and enemy types. Be interesting. They've also increased the animation rate of Borealis and Bioluminescent, which is a W. So it's got the health and stamina bar and zombies as well. They put out a fix for the Golden Enigma and Golden Ivory as well. Fix that allows players to complete the Golden Enigma and Golden Ivory completionist camos with blueprint weapons and custom mods. Friendly fire operator chatter will play less frequently now. And that is everything for multiplayer and zombies. Warzone. They've got the drivable train. Take control of Warzone's first controllable mobile POI. Urgently stands a new drivable train, complete with forward and backward engine controls, a horn, and a handbrake in the caboose for tactical braking. Ziplines. In addition to the vertical ascendants, expect ziplines to allow rapid horizontal navigation across Urzikstan. Look for ziplines across the map, often allowing fast travel across otherwise more challenging topography like water or tall structures. If you watch COD next, quality of life improvements have already been made to the system, enabling easier on-off access for the operator using either type of transport line. Major POI. So there's a lot in here. You can pause and read through all that if you like. Gulag. Brand new 1v1 Gulag named Silo. It's characterized by its dark, symmetrical layout that lends to both striking visuals and balanced engagements. So there's going to be map variants. It offers one of three possible Gulag map variants. Each one offers 3 clear lanes, allowing for simple 1v1 gameplay. And the variants include a box center with various cover and pathways in, creating corners rid of the layout, making it dangerous to rush without a plan. Next one is an open layout with light cover and a circularly enclosed center with limited access. The last one, a fairly open center with a boxed area, making the threshold from spawn to center very fast, but providing a rotational opportunity. And you got public events in the Gulag now. So we have the series of new events have been introduced, including Go Again. If you lose, you get another chance. Cash Grab, there'll be more cash on the ground with a larger stack in the middle. Then locked and loaded, you will start with full armor. And 2 upgraded guns. Overtime Ascender. So they've changed it from the overtime flag. Now instead of the flag, it's an ascender. It's a vertical ascender. So basically, anyone can use it. You can get out of it. That's another way you can get out. But both of you can shoot. So you can shoot the enemy, I believe, and then the enemy can shoot you down. So they've done a quality of life update with it as well. Whenever you would win your gulag, you would just stay still instead of being able to move around. This time, after you eliminate your opponent, you'll be allowed to continue roaming and looting until you are redeployed. Alright, so Battle Royale. New map Urzikstan, player count 100, which is very interesting. Match length, give or take 20 minutes. So they've done full transparency in this post here about why they've done it. The pacing of a Battle Royale match is critical to the experience and needs to represent the rhythm of a heartbeat. Where the peaks and troughs are consistent and healthy throughout the game, Battle Royale is a game with distinct phases. This includes landing off infill and looting, then acquiring a loader all the way through to the final battles before exfil. But also importantly, having a mid-game that doesn't suffer a slump and is continuous in its engagements. Historically, Warzone has always had larger player counts in its larger map, but as we have added additional respawn mechanics and changed circle sizes and timings, we have found it impacted the time to action pacing of the game. With the new Urzikstan map, there are a number of considerations the team has made for the player counts. New map of Urzikstan around 20% smaller than Almaz, faster match time of 20 minutes, new gas circle time is in sizing, more second chance redeploy mechanics, unsuppressed red dots revealing engagement locations, return of the big game bounty, updated bounty contract, rewarding a UAV ping as a reward, new Gulag public events, enabling more players to redeploy, the stability and performance of the game. Summarize, regardless of the number of players, the time to action is one of our most important variables. Based on all the above, we will be monitoring the time between engagements in Battle Royale throughout Season 1 and make pace changes where necessary in future seasons. So this is a W already. Even if you don't like it, you gotta respect the communication finally. But they've really prioritized engagements in this with how kind of small the map is and player count and how fast the zones close in. And from what I'm seeing so far from the gameplay, like it's looking pretty good. Some people want it a bit higher to like have a perfect middle ground. Okay, Resurgence. Returning maps Ashika and Vondel. Player count for Ashika, solos 52, duos 52, trios 51, quads 52. Vondel, solo 72, duo 72, trio 72, quad 72. Urzikstan Resurgence, so this will be it for like the first 2 days. Urzikstan Points of Interest, all of military base, pop-up power, caravan suburbs, and then player count, solos 44, duos 44, trios 45, and quads 44. And then Rotation Resurgence, every 15 minutes like it was in the last one. And then Ashika and Vondel returning. The Urzikstan Points of Interest as well. And the Plunder is returning. Played on Urzikstan, 100 players, and it'll be about 15 minutes. Lockdown is also returning. For those who don't know, Lockdown is pretty much Hardpoint, but a Warzone version. It's for those who want to level up their weapons in a high pace objective based mode. It also allows for your custom loadouts at the start. It's played on Vondel and it has a play count of 36. This is the playlist for the next week. Weapons. Alright, so these are the new weapons that have been added. So all the ARs, the SVA, MTZ, Holger, MCW, DG, FR, and the FR. Battle rifles, the Bass. That's gonna say Bass B. I don't know why they would change that. Sidewinder and MTZ. SFG, Striker, Swarm, AMR9, WSP9, Rival 9, Striker 9. Shotguns, Lockwood, Haymaker, Riveter. LMGs, Pull 'em Yacht 762, OG, DG58, Attack Eradicated, Holger, Browan. Marksman's, KVD, MCW, DM56, MTZ. You get the gist of it. All the weapons are here. Even the body grenade launcher. Schedule adjustments. So they done a new quality of life update called with a backup pistol. So as when you don't have a handgun equipped in your loadout, you'll unholster a base attachment core 45 while performing the following actions: ledge hanging, climbing the ladder, and swimming underwater. If you do have a handgun or melee weapon, you'll use that instead. We want players to always be able to fight back no matter their situation. The backup pistol addition to the game means that whether you are swimming or climbing, you can engage with enemy opponents at all times. As an important note, a fully equipped loaded handgun will remain the preferred choice in these circumstances. Locational damage modifiers. Locational damage modifiers have been flattened to provide a more consistent time to kill. Headshot multipliers are broadly decreased and arms now match the torso. In the past, arms have often had differing damage multipliers on the chest. This could often end up with an inconsistent time to kill when firing directly at a player aiming at you, since you are hitting arms instead of the chest. By standardizing the multipliers to be more consistent with the bottom to top velocity shots landing in the same area will result in a more reliable experience. Sniper damage. So the Cat AMR will one shot to the head at any distance. I'm hearing that if you're fully plated, it doesn't. But I just hope that's a bug. Riot shield slows movement when it is equipped, as the player secondary is on that back, so it's a W. About time the riot shield got nerfed. Weapon tuning, so as we know, it's been removed, which is W. I have heard that they're planning to bring back one part of the tuning back, which is the optic, which I don't mind because the optic is pretty cool to tune, and it's not as intense. So, launcher damage. So they pretty much made it so that all these launchers can destroy vehicles pretty much immediately. But they say here, we want to make sure that launchers have an impactful but fair application to countering vehicles in Warzone. Based on several variables such as projectile speed, time to fire, and reload speed, we have tuned launchers to better meet the expectation on how it should behave when damaging vehicles. Gameplay. New features, all modes. Classic red dots. Fire unsuppressed weapons causes operators to momentarily appear as a red dot on the minimap. Red dots have returned to Warzone. Those wishing to self the map when firing should consider equipping a suppressor to the weapons in that loadout. Reload cancel, baby. Segmented reloads. You can now reload cancel if there are bullets in the magazine. When performing empty reload, it will utilize reload checkpoints to give the best of both worlds. Improved water combat alongside the dedicated backup pistol. Improvements have been made to water visibility such that it is now easier to see targets both when in and out of the water. Redeploy weapons and BR. Being brought back now grants a weapon that changes based on the current circle number, with the weapon improving with later circles. So what this means is, before this change, when you were, say you got brought back towards endgame, you would spawn with a pistol. Like just a fucking stock pistol with default. Now what this does is, if you get brought back endgame, you will spawn in with the gun that will compete with the level of endgame. This is a similar approach to the one found in Resurgence already. Gone are the days of being brought back in the endgame with only a pistol, so yeah, W for that. Adjusted features, so loot. Ground and supply box pool. Loot found throughout our maps will now include a mix of MW2 and MW3 weapons, equipment, per packs, and more. Rarity. Weapons, equipment, kill streaks, and more will now appear with a color-coded tooltip to indicate the value and rarity on the item, as well as if a weapon is from a custom loadout. Ground spread. Players will now notice that the loot distribution and spread when opening a supply box or eliminating an enemy has received significant improvements to minimize loot overlap and facilitate loot identification. The revive pistol has been removed, but may make a return. Legendary audio. Guitar Celebration returns when finding legendary loot because they just didn't feel right without some iconic riffs. We balanced loot so that mostly everything can be found in general looting with enough time. However, we have tried to make rewards from activities like strongholds, contracts, public events, and locations on the map, like hospitals, car garages, police stations, targetable for a specific desirable item or a type of item, like plate carriers. So if your team is in need of a specific item, there is likely a place or activity you can go to have a high chance of getting it. Some higher tier items will be exclusive to general looting to encourage players to continue looting to find them. General gear and supply should be plentiful, and players should have basic gear and a preferable weapon no more than 60 seconds into the match. Backpack layouts. Adjusted the backpack and in-game loadout layout. Weapons are now right aligned underneath the newly added dedicated ammo. Gas mask and armor plates are first on the list for rapid access to two areas highly interacted with. Navigation wrapping. The backpack and loader will now navigate wrap and moving all the way to one side. Dedicated ammo slots. Specific new backpack slots catered to ammo, allowing quick and easy access. These slots will be automatically filled as players find ammo. Additional ammo can be stored in the all-purpose backpack slots. Gulag entry kit. Gulag entry kit can be stowed, enabling pickup to share for team coordination. Let's go kill streak auto equip. Certain items will automatically equip from the backpack into the active loadout when a matching item is used. For example, if a UAV is used and you have another in your backpack, you will auto equip your other UAV and put it into your loadout. Navigation pings. The ability to ping doors with a specific yellow warning ping has been removed to alleviate frustrations when trying to place navigation pings. Kill cam pings. Players will now be able to observe all enemy pings while watching kill cam replays. Important, this will be live shortly after launch and will be communicated accordingly. No more wondering how did they know I was there when you had a giant red ping above your head. Definitely taking a shot at all the bots who want to accuse people of cheating. Buy station. The interaction distance for buy stations within the gas has been extended to 30 meters, up from 10 meters. Icon visibility. When a buy station is still accessible in the gas, its icon will remain visible on the minimap and attack map. Upon being in the gas for too long, the icon will then fade away once the buy station is no longer active. Applies to both stationary buy stations as well as deployable buy stations. Buy station accessibility is important, so not only do we want to allow for more advanced and interesting gas plays, but we also want to make sure that players know that if they can execute a gas play before they attempt it with the newly improved UI. Loadouts. This is important. College is now 7.5k, down from 8k. Duos is now 10k, down from 12k. Trios is now 12.5k, down from 16k. And quads is 15k, down from 20k. The purchase price will now scale, but based on the active squad size in the match rather than base player squad size. The distinctive white visual design of the loadout credit from 2020 makes its return. With several changes to the economy, increasing the amount of cash earned from contracts and introducing a new perk that multiplies that even further, we're doubling down on easier access to your loadouts and the custom weapons found within. These prices will also scale dynamically should you lose a player or be trying to solve a course to your way to victory. Gas mask. Manual gas mask. So now you can Now you can mainly choose when to equip it. When you're looking at it, you're presented with equipping it or stowing it. Equipping it will just begin put on your face. Stowing it will just put in your backpack for later usage. As a result of the above, the animation will no longer interrupt gameplay, and importantly, players will only hear the heavy breathing sound effect while on the gas. Gas mask overlay. Adjust the gas mask overlay to provide a clearer field of vision, to provide a clearer field of view to the action, which is W. Decrease the intensity of the cracked state when near broken. The forced gas mask animation of putting on and removing has been a common frustration shared from players and developers alike. We're removing the automatic animations from the equation and putting the player choice entirely behind a manual equipped or not approach. Gas. Circle pacing. We've adjusted the overall possible centering of the first circle to encompass more play area than previously expected. Circle 1. Circle close time reduced to 160, down from 215, which is massive. Circle close time reduced for circle 2, reduced to 140, down from 220. Circle 3 reduced to 130 from 170. Circle 4 increased to 125 from 110. Circle 5 increased to 90 from 70. All other circle times remain unchanged. Total reduction 140 seconds. Total time until match ends 20 minutes and 20 seconds. Gas damage increased to 10 damage per tick, up from 9. With the introduction of the radiator perk, there's room to increase the basic damage as there's ways to bring this much lower with the perk. This means about 15 seconds of the gas is possible without a mask. Redeploy drones. Redeploy drones will now remain stationary in the gas for up to 45 seconds. They will now move slightly faster when repositioning. They'll begin to leave after circle 5 as they're too deep and there's limited room to move. The catapult distance has been increased, so we can now traverse at greater distances. Death Door, low health. Activation, the visual overlay with low health now triggers at 40%. Down from 55. Visibility. Increased transparency of the overlay to be less obtrusive when at low health. Spawn protection timer. The duration of spawn protection has been reduced to 2.5 seconds, down from 10 seconds. This applies to all modes except Resurgence. We made this change in order to better create a sense of fairness, both for the redeploying player, but also for those already on the ground. Battle Royale, infill height. The height at which players deploy to the field during infill has been decreased to 402 meters from 483. Infill closer to the ground for faster timed action, and in addition, redeployment heights throughout the match will be further decreased each circle, so endgame hovering is less effective. Strongholds. Strongholds are no longer a guaranteed spawn each match, rather they have been linked to a new public event. Black sites. Black sites have been changed. When you kill the boss, it will now drop a deployable buy station. It will also drop an advance as well. There's a chance for that happening. You may find black site keys via ground loot, allowing you the opportunity to open up black site in any match. Perks. We've got some new perks. We've got Shrouded, automatically drops a smoke grenade when entering the down state. Flex, delayed triggered explosives while sprinting, walls of nearby enemy equipment, and reduces combat noise. Due to a new shooters, this perk currently appears as faculty in the menu. Resolute. When taking damage from gunfire, it grants a short bonus to movement speed. When shooting at an enemy with the Resolute equipped, players will see a small icon to indicate that the player has Resolute. Stalker, increased strafe and aim down sight movement speed. Payout, contracts pay out more on cash and the cost of your retails are discounted. Escapers, increased down, prone, and crouch speed. Primed. Accuracy and time to aim down sights is improved while jumping. Irradiated. While under the effects of the gas circle, you move faster and take reduced gas damage. Shrapnel. Explosive damage delays enemy health regeneration, slows enemy movement, and briefly disables attack sprint. Mountaineer reduces fall damage. Mechanic. Reduced vehicle repair time, increased fueling speed, and reduced fuel consumption while driving non-aircraft vehicles. Overkill has been removed entirely and replaced with a new default behavior. So overkill is on by default now. You don't have to put it as a perk. Players now have the option to equip 2 primary weapons at all times without requiring a perk. By eliminating overkill, we have removed a long-standing restriction where players needed to buy the overkill loadout or buy multiple weapons from the buy station. With overkill on by default, always any loadout you create can be with the perks and weapons you desire, your freedom of choice. Perk unlocks. Perks unlocked by default at level 1 include Scavenger, Battle Hardened, Payout, Flex. Movement. By default, these perks will be on all times. Tac pads, commando gloves, quick grip, and climbing boots. So improve sliding distance and allows for full ADS, enables reloading while running, increased weapon swap speed, increased climb and mantle speed. ADS while sliding, jump changes. Jump higher, faster, and jump ADS quicker. Reduce the slowdown when landing from the first jump, and reduce the sprint out delay after jumping. Slide cancel. Players can cancel slide by jumping, sprinting, or crouching again. Does not reset tactical sprint, and briefly pauses stamina regeneration. So returning contracts is Big Game Bounty and Scavenger. For those who don't know what Big Game Bounty is, it's pretty much once you activate it, it places a bounty from one of the highest performing squads in the match. And then once you take them out, you'll be rewarded with a 20-second long advanced UAV. It won't reveal itself until after the second circle. General adjustments. Activation laptop. Players will now activate contracts by interacting with larger, more easily identifiable laptops throughout the map. Activating a contract is done instantly with no delay or animation. W. Updated contract spawning. Increase the amount of contract spawn later to a match. New icons. Contract icons have been updated to be more legible and shield-like in appearance. For better accessibility, icons are now colored yellow, previously green. Adjusted contracts. Bounty contract now gives a single UAV ping around the bounty target when the hunter team kills them. Players engaging with bounty contracts are always at risk of being third parties, so with that risk should come added reward for pushing the squad. New public events. Restock supply sweep. Restock now starts the personal supply sweep for every player when activated. Flyby. A new public event is sponsored to stand. At certain points in the match, there is a chance multiple drones fly in to drop additional buy stations to the Warzone. When a flyby public event is triggered, 5 or 6 drones carrying portable buy stations fly from the gas to random points inside the current circle where they drop a portable buy station. The drones are neutral and can be shot down early, which drops the buy stations immediately. The portable buy stations sell items identical to a typical one. The public event will also have a chance to spawn in late game spawn circles after the gulag has closed or resurgence has ended, giving players the final opportunity to buy back teammates. Strongholds. Strongholds now have a chance to appear as one of several possible events at the start of the match. When this event triggers, 4 strongholds will spawn, down from 5. The time to capture has been reduced to 30 seconds, now from 90. The original crate and strongholds that players captured and claimed the loader has been updated and split into 2 parts. UAV station. Players enter a stronghold that will see a box with a laptop or satellite dish, which now acts as a capture point. Loadout locker. The loadout crate has been replaced with a loadout locker. The locker can be found in the same place as the UAV station and will be positioned against the wall of the room. AK in the stronghold will cause to automatically neutralize the UAV after 30 seconds. The loadout crate will only be available for the squad that currently controls the stronghold. Adjusted public events. Fire sale item discount increased to 50% up from 30%. We felt that doing the mental gymnastics of trying to calculate 30% of a discount of 30, it's very grand. Spoiler 100 could be simplified by simply updating to a 50% reduction, simply 1500, which also gives additional value in rotating to a buy station. Yeah. New equipment. Breacher drone. No. Lemon barrack grenade. A cookable grenade creates a large explosion that stuns, leaves a fire residue, and increases the lethality of explosives for a period of time. EMD grenade applies the tracking device to enemies hit, revealing them on your team's minimap. Scatter mine. Throw a field of mines across a white area that detonates when enemies come within range. So adjusted equipment for lethals. All these things here got a buff. Tactical equipment. Smoke grenades got a buff. Smoke grenades got a nerf. Stims now grant a slight boost movement speed on activation. 7%. Experimental gas. If player is wearing a gas mask, it will instead do damage to the equipped mask, so the mask on the backpack or any mask on the ground. Since the damage is caused by the tactical gas, it can be countered with an equipped gas mask. Field upgrades. Heartbeat sensor is now a field upgrade. It pulses every 2.5 seconds, down from 3 seconds. Its range increases to 55 from 49, which makes sense because it's a field upgrade, so limited use anyway. New vehicle, the Coyote. Available in Urzikstan during Battle Royale and Plunder modes, is an impressive, lightly armored new off-road vehicle known as the Coyote. This is an open air and agile desert vehicle designed to grip the dunes and move quickly. The mounted machine gun is more than enough to take out the opposition in your path. Combat records. Players will launch Season 1 with a fresh combat record, which will immediately begin showing statistics for BR. The combat records will roll out in the following phases: Season 1 BR, Season 2 Resurgence, Season 3 Plunder. Please note that statistics for almost will begin tracking of Season 1 launch and will be retroactively reflected when the combat records go live. Icon fade. All in-world icons will now fade away when the player aims down sights for better visibility during engagements. That's a huge W. That is everything. This will be a long video. I do apologize. I'll see how long I can get it to before cut down. But I hope you got some valuable information out of this. And I hope everyone's excited for the new season and for Warzone. Guess we'll see how this year plays out, because these passions will look like a W. I hope you enjoyed. Like and sub for more content like this. And I'm excited to get some content out. I will see you in the next one. Peace.